Basketball fans, Akil Augustine joining you from Las Vegas, Nevada, inside the Toronto Raptors private practice facility here at the Wynn Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada on the Strip. And now it's time to check in with who will be practicing on court here and playing in games over at Thomas & Mack and the Cox Pavilion. So we take a peek at the Toronto Raptors roster, and you know already there's going to be a steady dose of Grady Dick as this team continues to push the young man in his second year coming out of Kansas, as well as the other Kansas product, Ochai Agbaji, looking to improve his three-point shooting. And then you've got the two draft picks who we'll talk to, one of them, Jonathan Mogbo, later in this show. But right now, we got to talk to the man in charge, and that is Coach Darko.
What do you think of some of these new additions that you were able to make either through the trade or via the draft? What are you excited about?
I'm excited about the care factor that those guys bring to the table. Obviously, we made a trade and we got Davion Mitchell, who is here with us in Vegas. Defensively oriented guy that has a mindset of being very aggressive on the ball, well known as a defensive stopper, improving his three-point shooting. I think he's going to fit in our rotation really well. We're trying to get him up to speed, how we're working, how we're communicating, how we're doing business over here in Toronto. So really excited to welcome him on our team.
When you look back on the year, I mean, just thinking about the year, I can remember you talking about, the defense starting with the point of attack. Obviously, he's a guy who addresses that. Do you feel like you're a bit better situated from that perspective going forward?
Yes, and I also think it's not just about him. It's all the guys. Everybody have to step up. We're working a lot during the summer to really improve on-ball defense, aggressiveness. We're really trying to, as you can see in the draft class as well, we're trying to find as many as possible two-way guys that can be, we call them a most important guy. Most important guy is the guy who's guarding the ball. He makes it easier for everybody else. And we're really trying to develop everybody on our roster to be able to do a better job on the ball.
Does it feel like almost like a clean slate this year with like a young team that knows its identity, whereas last year, you came into with everyone asking who's going to be here, who's not?
It is a clean slate. This is year one of our rebuild. We're starting our rebuild now. So the team that we're going to establish this year, everything that we're doing right now in establishing the culture and how we want to work and how we want to operate. Obviously, we have experience with the players that were on the team last year here, and that's going to help us. But this is really year one for us in this rebuild process.
In that regard, how happy are you to have Garrett back with you this year?
Garrett brings a lot. As you guys know, he brings a lot on the floor and off the floor. He's a great leader, somebody that I established really close rapport with, and he's my guy in the locker room, somebody who's going to help relay my message to the whole team, somebody who can help young players to understand what it means to be a professional on NBA level and what it takes to win. He took participation in all the practices, all the play groups, and he's making our guys better every single day behind the closed doors as well. That, it's easy to say when a player gets on the floor and contributes in games, but his contribution is much more in this setup of practice and our play groups.
All right, now from coach to the players, it's time to check in with Jonathan Mogbo. A late growth spurt changed him from a guard to a big, and he's going to be pitching in the front court for your Toronto Raptors. So let's learn more about him from the man himself.
Questions with actually around the team and like somewhat of a practice or game setting?
Just high intensity. Coach tries to emphasize ball pressure. I feel like we're going to have a great team defensively, offensively too. Bring intensity, bring energy. That's one of our key pieces, and I feel like that's what's going to separate from us from the different teams.
Do you see? Oh, sorry. I was saying, how do you see yourself fitting into that identity? Obviously, it seems like that's the kind of game you play and want to play.
Yeah, that's the game I play, since college, since growing up, just high energy. Defensively, I'm a defensive guy first, so, just bringing energy both ways on the court, having a high motor, being versatile defensively with my wingspan and everything, just losing my length and, just being an advantage. So having that advantage on guys, so, it's great.
Personally for yourself, like coming into Summer League, what do you hope to take from this experience?
Just a learning experience, it's our rookie season, so, just coming and learning new things, picking up quick, I'm a great learner, so I feel like first game is going to be a great game for us, a great game for me. So just going out there playing hard and being important, just doing our role.
And you see a bunch of vets kind of around. How's that? How have they been? How does that help you kind of in the integration process?
It's great. I feel like having vets around just shows how together we are. So that's a great thing. I feel like they're giving us knowledge, little pointers quick in there. So Scott, Bruce, everybody here. So just small things, and it just kind of separates from other teams. It's a family. So I like it.
What's your impressions of Jacoby and Jamal Shed, just knowing them college? Obviously, those guys, Jamal Shed played all 4 years, I believe. What's your impressions just them?
A great group of guys. We hang out a lot. Starting to get to know them a little bit more. So just having them around defensively. Trying to see what they see. I feel like we gel together. With all the rookies. So I feel like it's a great thing we have.
What was the adjustment coming to Toronto? Obviously, I know you've been in the city before. Was it easier than you think it would be? Just obviously knowing the city a bit, coming and visiting.
I feel like nothing's easy. It was a learning process coming in here, trying to figure out what the role is, what everyone does well. So I feel like, just being me, being myself, I feel like I found a quick way to do it. And, I'm just going to keep doing it and doing it better each day.
What's been the biggest transitional challenge for you, whether it be on the court, off the court, dealing with the responsibilities of being a draft pick and an employee? Like, what's been the thing that stood out the most to you in this process?
I feel like, just the work ethic, a lot of coaches are involved, just seeing that, it kind of separates. It's different from college. So, seeing all the coaches around, encouraging you, being there for you. So it's just like, you're here to get better. So, that's a great side of it. I love it. I enjoy it. It's going to be a long process, so you got to do day by day, and I'm loving it so far.
Back inside the Latour Ballroom in the Wynn Las Vegas, Nevada Summer League rolls on. The Toronto Raptors were active both at the draft, post-draft, and pre-draft. But let's talk about the incoming point guard for the Toronto Raptors, Davion Mitchell, a Baylor grad. This is a guy that got in trade. We spoke with him earlier, but Jonesy, your impressions of how he can change things in the backcourt for this Raptors group?
Well, listen, you always need quality players. He's a quality player.
He's a dog.
Known for his defense.
Yeah.
His nickname, for those of you that are unaware and
Off
don't
nights.
follow the NBA,
Off nights.
is Off Night. And, he told the story. I was aware of it before, but it was given to him by his buddies and a coach who seemed to figure out that a lot of the top players seem to have off nights against him, and it stuck, and he likes it. And you will notice that when you watch him play. He is, as you said, Akil, a dog defensively. That's what gets him on the court. But listen, let me tell you this. Do not sleep on this kid's offense. In his senior year at Baylor, he was the #1 isolation scorer on that team and one of the tops in the NCAA. So, yes, defense gets you on the court, but you need to be a complete player. And this guy can also score it as well.
Yeah, post All-Star break, too, he really picked up his three-point shooting numbers. And you talk about that off-night reputation that he earned in college. Well, he had some memorable nights in the NBA holding both Steph Curry and Russell Westbrook to a single-made bucket in some matchups. So right now we check in with one of the newest Raptors, Davion Mitchell.
What was your reaction to the trade when you heard the news?
I was excited. I just think that it's a business, like everyone knows. Toronto's a really young team. They have really good pieces. Scotty Barnes and Emmanuel Quickly, kind of their franchise people. There's a lot of things I can learn from them, build with them over the years. It's a lot of good things I heard about them.
Do you know, obviously you played against them and bumped into guys over the years. Do you know any of these guys really well?
I kind of knew Emmanuel briefly just because we talked over the time over the league. I seen him work out a couple times in Miami. Just kind of watching his whole career. He's a really good guy who can score the ball, but he's also just a genuine nice guy. Just to hang around, to be around. He's a good person.
What do you bring to a team as a point guard?
For me, this year is kind of try to be leadership, the defensive mindset coming in, being that dog, doing the little things on the floor, and also, played behind quickly, played with quickly, things that I just do to win basketball games.
From the moment you got to Sacramento, it was sort of a stacked guard situation. It never really let up. Do you view this as like a real opportunity to find your niche? Not that you didn't have moments there, but like a wide open opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. I think that, just as being, like I said, like a young group, I'm going to have more opportunities to play on the court, to kind of show what I can do, but also just being a leader. I kind of played with De'Aaron Fox, who was kind of like a vet in our league, so learning things from him, learning things from Domas, and just trying to pick those things and bring it to Toronto.
Perimeter defense is something that this team lacked last year.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's one of the things that you bring to the table. How contagious do you feel like something like that is, that maybe other guys can kind of build off of what you do?
I think for me, over my career as playing basketball, like every team I've been on, the guy that's on the ball kind of just brings that energy. And I think that me putting pressure on the ball up top, I mean, a lot of people are going to want to play just as hard. No one wants to stand out and not play as hard. So me bringing that energy is going to show.
Did your game evolve?
Yeah, I think that just learning the pace of the game, learning from De'Aaron Fox, when to score, when to find teammates, when to look for teammates who are hot, just little things like that.
That does it for day one of our coverage here from Summer League, but do remember NBA TV Canada and Raptors.com has you completely covered. But now it's time to look ahead to the games. And for your Toronto Raptors, they take on the Oklahoma City Thunder on July 13th. That's an 8:30 tip-off if you're on the East Coast, 5:30 if you're on the West Side, and that's on TSN. But stay tuned to NBA TV and Raptors.com for all your Toronto Raptor updates. I'm Akil Augustine, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.